That night, the hallway outside my bedroom looked exactly the same as it always had: white walls, soft yellow light from the old lamp near the staircase, but everything felt different. I could hear my sister laughing downstairs with my parents, her voice rolling through the house like music only they understood. Somewhere between those walls and the staircase, I realized something. Some people never see you until you disappear. My name is Emily Warren, I'm 19 years old, and I was always the second choice in my own house. Not because I was bad, not because I failed, but because my sister Lily existed. Lily, with her pretty face, easy laughter, natural charm, straight A records, and somehow ability to make average things look special. My parents always said they loved us both, they just didn't treat us both. I never noticed it at first. Kids don't. Or maybe kids just accept the world they're given and assume everyone lives in balance. But balance is a funny way of describing a seesaw where one side is permanently on the ground. The first time I knew something was wrong was on my 10th birthday. I woke up early, dressed up, went to the living room hoping to see balloons or at least hear the usual happy birthday greeting. The table was full of cupcakes and ribbons, yes, but it wasn't for me. It was for Lily's piano competition celebration that evening. She was 8 at the time, and my birthday simply happened to fall on the same day. My mom hugged her, fixed her hair, snapped pictures. My dad set up chairs for guests. I stood there, invisible, in a pink dress I had ironed myself. Nobody remembered, not even later. There was no cake left for me by the time guests went home. That was the first time I realized silence can bruise. Over the years, it was always Lily. Dance recitals, piano exams, public speeches, debates, awards, trophies, my accomplishments. Good job, Em. A pat on the shoulder, a smile, no frame, no picture on the wall, no dinner celebration, just the assumed role of being good and quiet so I wouldn't take space from Lily's spotlight. If I ever questioned it, my mother would say, "You know how she is, she just shines, let her shine." As if light only existed where she stood and the rest of us deserved darkness. I didn't hate Lily, though. That's the part nobody ever believes. She wasn't cruel, she didn't taunt me, she didn't brag, she just accepted the love given to her. Wouldn't anyone? The problem was never her. It was the way my parents looked at her, like she was the final puzzle piece of their perfect life and I was just extra cardboard. My moment, the moment that should have changed everything, was high school graduation. I worked silently for 4 years, studying while my parents drove Lily to her activities, cut checks for her coaches, hired tutors, paid for advanced programs. I did homework alone, searched instructions online, rewrote essays 3 times in my room at night. I got into my dream university, full scholarship, a huge deal, something nobody in my family had ever achieved. But the night before graduation, as I sat at the dinner table, my father made an announcement. Lee got accepted to the regional summer performance showcase. My mother gasped, "Oh my God, that's fantastic." And just like that, the conversation shifted to Lily. Plans, outfits, flowers, who they would invite, how amazing it would look on her college applications. I kept waiting and waiting. I almost raised my hand like a student asking permission to speak. Finally, I cleared my throat. "My graduation is tomorrow at 4. My mother blinked at me as if remembering I existed. Right. She waved her hand absent-mindedly. "We'll see if we can make it. Depends on Lily's rehearsal schedule." Depends. My graduation depended on Lily's rehearsal. The next morning I dressed myself, ironed my gown, sat in the passenger seat of my friend Mia's car because nobody offered to drive me. In the auditorium I scanned the crowd. Families cheered, clapped, hugged, cried. Mine, 3 empty seats in the front row I had reserved for them. I walked across the stage, shook the principal's hand and heard exactly 1 clap, Mia's. On the ride home my phone buzzed, a message from my mom. "Sorry hun, we got caught up." How did it go? Caught up. That phrase hit like something blunt and unavoidable. It didn't go, it happened. Without them, I didn't respond, not that day, not that night. And certainly not the next morning when Lily knocked on my door holding a cupcake box like some kind of apology, 1 cupcake missing already. "Congrats," she smiled. "Mom said you did great." I just stared at her. "They didn't come, Lily," she shrugged, guiltless. "They were busy. Nobody was ever too busy for her." Something inside me went quiet, the kind of quiet that isn't sadness, the kind that is planning. That day after Lily left, I sat on my bed and wrote something on a single piece of paper, a letter. Not long, not emotional, not pleading, just straightforward truth and a choice. I packed a small bag, 2 shirts, jeans, the scholarship documents, my laptop, and walked out of the house at 3:17 p.m. Nobody stopped me. Nobody even noticed I was leaving. I taped the letter to the fridge, right where my mother kept Lily's show schedules and recital reminders, a place they looked at every morning. Then I went to the bus station. I didn't cry on the bus. I didn't shake. There was no dramatic montage in my head, just silence. A new kind of silence, not bruising, but clean. My first night in the new apartment was small, furnished with nothing but a mattress, a borrowed desk, and a window that faced a parking lot. It was perfect because it was mine. I started university 2 weeks later. I told nobody where I came from. I introduced myself simply as Emily, no last name, no explanation. In my first class, I met someone, Alex Carter, tall, quiet, soft-spoken, majoring in engineering. He wasn't flashy or loud. He didn't try to impress anyone. That was why I noticed him, because he was comfortable in silence. Not like the silence I came from, but the kind that felt like breathing. He became my friend, not instantly, not dramatically, just gradually. Small conversations, shared coffee ordered from the same machine, notes exchanged during lectures. He didn't ask about my family, he didn't assume anything, and because he didn't ask, I eventually told him everything. His reaction wasn't pity, it was anger, real anger. They ignored your graduation, he said, voice low. That's insane, that's cruel. I shrugged, habit hiding truth. It just happened. No, he said, leaning forward. People choose what they show up for. That sentence stuck because it was true. Meanwhile, at home, well, back where my old life lived, the letter started a fire. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't long, it wasn't sentimental. It simply said, I want a family that shows up. I'll go find one. Emily. Below that, one more line. You chose Lily, I choose me. When my mother saw it, she froze. When my father read it, he pretended not to care, but he called me 5 times that night. I never answered. The real explosion came 2 days later when Lily found the letter. She didn't knock, she didn't ask, she didn't wait. She called me screaming into the phone. You're joking, Emily, this isn't funny, come home. That was the first time her voice cracked. Not in rehearsals, not in recitals, not in applause, but because silence had finally turned on them. I listened, I didn't speak. Then I hung up. That was the moment everything changed, not because I left, but because now they were forced to see the space I took up when I wasn't there. Leaving wasn't revenge. The revenge was watching them realize they had lost something they assumed would always stay. I didn't expect anything from them after that call. Silence was familiar, and this new silence was mine, not something pressed against me. Days passed. I studied, worked, made coffee with Alex between classes, learned how to cook ramen without burning the pot, and got a part-time job in the library. My life was small, but it was clean and quiet. Nobody demanded anything from me. Nobody asked me to disappear. Then one evening, when I was finishing a lab assignment on the library computers, my phone buzzed with a number I didn't recognize. I answered without thinking. Emily. It was my mother. My whole body stiffened, reflex, muscle memory of years of tension. Her voice sounded different, thinner, quieter, edges worn. We haven't heard from you, she said, as if I didn't know that. Are you okay? Yes, I said simply, nothing extra, no explanation. She waited for me to fill the silence, but I didn't. She cleared her throat, searching for words she had never practiced. Your sister is very upset, she said, phrasing it like Lily's emotions were the center again. Okay, I said, neutral, steady. She breathed into the phone, long and shaky. Can you come home for dinner this weekend? I didn't feel anything, no spike of anger, no rush of longing, just emptiness, a kind of clarity. So I asked the question I never dared ask when I still lived in that house. Why? Her silence was loud, like a room full of things unsaid. We just want to see you. Wanting and showing up are not the same thing. That was the difference they never understood. I can't, I said, then I hung up. I didn't block her, I didn't explain, I didn't apologize, I didn't soften the blow like old Emily would have, I just said no. Saying no is a kind of freedom that most people never learn, especially the ones who were always expected to say yes. Later that night, I told Alex what happened. He nodded like someone who understood the shape of old wounds. They'll keep calling, he said, not as a warning, but as a prediction. They can call, I shrugged, I don't have to come. He smiled slightly like someone watching a person grow into themselves. Good, he said. 2 weeks passed. Then one afternoon I got home from class and found someone waiting by my apartment building gate. Lily, sitting on the small concrete ledge like she had been there a while. Her hair was messy, no perfect curls, no performance makeup, no shiny dress. Just jeans, an oversized hoodie, and a face that looked like she hadn't slept. She saw me and stood up so fast she almost tripped. What are you doing here? I asked. She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she walked up to me and held something out, a folded paper, my letter, the original one from the fridge, the tape still stuck to the corner. Mom keeps it in her purse now, she said, voice unsteady. Dad keeps a picture of it on his phone. Those words hit differently. Because I cared, but because I could see it, the image of my handwriting becoming something permanent in a house that once forgot I existed. I came to talk, she said, not to scream this time. I didn't move. Talk, she swallowed hard. I didn't know how bad it was. I mean, I knew Mom and Dad favored me, obviously. Everyone knew, but I didn't know it hurt you that much. I thought you were okay with it. That sentence cut more than any shouting could. Why would I be okay with being invisible? She blinked, tears filling up but not falling, because you never said anything. I tried, I said, but when no one listens, eventually you stop speaking. She looked down. I thought we were just different, that you liked being quiet, staying in your room, doing your own thing. I was quiet because there was no space for me. I stayed in my room because nobody asked me to come out. I did my own thing because nobody cared. My voice was calm, steady. Years of unsaid truth melting into sentences I never practiced but always knew. Lily wiped her eyes, finally letting tears fall. I'm sorry, she whispered. I was selfish. You were a kid, I said. You accepted the love given to you. That's not a crime. But I should have seen you, she said. I should have noticed. You couldn't notice something nobody pointed out, I said. That was Mom and Dad's job. We stood outside the building in the cold, cars passing, lives moving, and for a second it didn't feel like war anymore. It felt like a long overdue conversation. Then she said something I didn't expect. Mom called your scholarship office. My heartbeat stopped just for a moment. She wanted to make sure you're safe. She wanted to know where you go, who you talked to, what address they had for you. They wouldn't tell her anything, of course, but she tried. I exhaled slowly. That was a kind of fear disguised as care. And Dad, she continued, called my piano instructor and canceled my spring showcase. He told her family comes first. Those words didn't sound like punishment, they sounded like confusion, like two parents trying to rewrite a problem they never admitted existed. I don't want to come back, I said honestly. Not now, maybe not ever. I like my life. Lily nodded. She didn't beg. I know. She looked at the paper again, fingers trembling. Can we start over, just us, not them? That sentence, just us, hit a place I thought was dead. I don't hate you, I said. I don't hate you either, she whispered. I just didn't know how to love someone who wasn't chosen. We stood there silently until I unlocked the building door. She didn't follow me inside, didn't push, didn't demand. She just said, I'll call you tomorrow, okay? Okay, and she left. That night I couldn't sleep. Not from fear or pain, but from something else, possibility. The idea that maybe leaving wasn't the end. Maybe it was the beginning. Weeks turned into months and my life kept growing. Classes got harder, hours at the library got longer, and Alex became more. He wasn't just a friend anymore. He was someone who noticed things without asking. Someone who remembered how I liked my coffee and when I needed quiet instead of conversation. He never tried to fix my past. He just sat with it. Around midterm break, I received an envelope in the mail, no return address. My stomach clenched when I saw the handwriting, my father's. I opened it with shaking hands. Inside, there was a single document, a bank transfer slip, a large donation to my university's support fund in my name. Below it, a handwritten note. We didn't show up for you. We can't undo that, but we can show up now. Dad, no excuses, no paragraphs of explanation, just a gesture. Not to buy me back, not to bribe, not to guilt. A gesture of acknowledgement. I didn't cry, I didn't call, but I didn't throw it away either. I placed it in a drawer. Slowly, painfully slowly, my family began to change because they had to face life without the daughter who never asked for anything and finally did. Space. Lily and I talked once a week, not long, not intense, not healing everything, just small truths. She told me she was in therapy. That one hit different, real different. I'm learning to stop performing, she said. I'm learning to stop disappearing, I said. For the first time, we weren't competing for attention. We were just living our separate lives, choosing connection, not fighting for it. 8 months after I left, I received a voicemail from my mother, just her voice, no demands. We're proud of you, she said softly. No matter what, that was all. Not enough to erase what happened. Not enough to fix every birthday, every recital, every forgotten celebration. But enough to say something had shifted. I didn't return home. I didn't move back. I didn't throw myself into their arms and pretend everything was fine. I built my life from the ground up with textbooks and cheap coffee and nights writing essays on a mattress with no frame. I created something they never gave me, a place where I showed up for myself. The story didn't end with screaming or revenge in flames. It ended with a letter, a choice, and a silence that finally belonged to me, not pressed on me by the people who forgot I existed, but shaped by my own hands. Leaving wasn't running away. Leaving was learning that some families are found in classrooms, in coffee shops, in people who ask nothing from you except truth. Sometimes revenge isn't loud. Sometimes it's living well where you were once ignored. And sometimes the loudest scream doesn't come from the one who leaves. It comes from the ones who thought you never would.